What if you could simply manifest something that you've had on your mind, you have in your heart, just with such ease? I bet that you probably already have. I'll bet there is something in your life that you can look back on and you're like, I had this thought that I wanted to get a new car for my daughter. And then we cashed in some unexpected stock and then we got to buy it, which is something I just talked about with a recent client. Or you just want to get a new job and synchronistically this job offer comes your way. I bet there's something out there that's like that. I am going to share with you today my manifesting method that helped me to manifest a whole bunch of things, including my beautiful life partner, my husband, including this house, this room, this office that I am now sitting in with you. Even the being able to have the kids that I have, my children, so many things. So I am going to share this method with you, and I cannot wait to hear how it works for you. So the first step here that I want to talk about is kind of a concept that I feel like is the most important concept we're going to talk about. And that is the concept that we are all energy. Everything is energy. And sometimes we get really we kind of forget that we're part of like a much bigger picture. But as you and I sit here, you are this body, you are this being, you are in this dimension, in this time and space, and you live in a quantum field, right? And in this quantum field, energy is connected. Energy and frequency can connect with other things. Very simply, just as simply as I am broadcasting this through the internet and then it's going to be received by you. Or I can make a phone call on this phone right here. It's connected to a satellite. It connects to another person. Very similarly, imagine that in terms of manifesting, it's like in the universe, you have this universe drive-through that you can pull on up to, place your order, and then it gets delivered to you, right? In essence, in essence. So the very first concept that's important is to understand that everything is energy. And when you are manifesting, it's not through your work alone. It's not through hard work that you're manifesting this stuff. The difference is, the nuance is, the important thing is the energy that you are bringing to the manifestation. So a couple things here are going to be really important in this, right? A couple things here are going to be really important. So I want you just to take an example. I'm going to take the example of this house that we manifested, okay? We very grateful. In 2017, we bought a home here in Southern California. It's a small home, like 1,300-ish square feet, pretty small. And as the years kind of went by, 2022, the kids are getting bigger, and we were like really feeling like we were outgrowing the home. Husband working from home, me trying to work from home. And, being in Southern California, I was working out of our garage, which isn't the worst thing in the world. We have really good weather, but it wasn't ideal, right? So, so I wrote down on a piece of paper, actually, this is December right now, December 2023. This was December 2022. Just didn't even think too hard about it. I just wrote some of my goals, or our goals, for the coming year. And the first one on there is that bigger house with room, lots of room, a beautiful view, the school district that we're still in, and me having an office / yoga room, including my husband having his own office as well, right? I'm going to tell you the story, then we're going to get into this for you. So basically, this is how the manifesting process worked. So I wrote this down, believed it, pictured ourselves in the home. I could visualize it. I could picture the office yoga space. I could picture the view. I could picture that it's still in the school district our kids go to, visualizing it. Not only that, I also got into the feeling of it. How does it feel? It felt expansive. It felt spacious, room for me to grow my business. It felt right. It felt timely. It felt like it was meant for us. Yeah. And this is the important one. I believed in it. I believed in it being available for us. I believed in it being available for us. I believed in it, right? not kidding you, 2 weeks after I wrote this, my husband came to me and he's like, hey, I saw this house. We should go check it out. We had not been looking at homes. We were not looking at real estate at all together. We come to this house, we look at it, and we put an offer on it. And long story short, here we are. Now, along the way, I want to tell you, sometimes we can glitch our own process. We can get in our own way. And so I'm going to share with you some important tools that I used along the way to actually allow this manifestation to happen. Because I want to tell you, once we got in, interest rates had gone up and we had like a 3% interest rate, which is amazing. So it was like, then came in all the fears. Well, this is a much higher mortgage and we had such a great interest rate. And should we try to just keep the house? And maybe we should stay here, or maybe we should build on. So long story short, we got our offer accepted. We got out of the offer. We got back out for different reasons. And then there was regret, especially from my husband, like major regret, like, oh my gosh, that was a mistake. We should be doing it. So we waited about 2 weeks. And in the interim, another buyer put an offer on this home and we put in a backup offer. And sure enough, those buyers didn't perform and we got back in. And here we are. And I would not, now it's been a full year since we began the whole process. And I feel so grateful every day. I couldn't imagine us anywhere else. It feels like we've been here for years. It feels natural. It feels normal. We have elevated ourselves to the level of the mortgage do you see what I mean? Like when we believed the things lined up that would work in our favor for this to work, right? So now I'm going to talk about a few things that I used to be in the space of manifesting. And I think why this worked so quickly and so easily is because I teach manifesting. I am a manifesting coach. I help people with this all the time. I'm already in the rhythm of it constantly. So for this to happen, it was like, well, yeah, of course. Even though I kind of wasn't like, it was just so not, it was on my radar, but so not on my radar. This is where I want you to know that when you are open and you believe, you open yourself to opportunities showing up for you, right? It's like the universe is like, do, 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 do. And then like designing your delivery for you, and you just have to be available to say yes. So when you are, like I mentioned, one, you get clear on what you want to manifest, get really clear. Secondly, I really want you to look at your fears around it. Is there anything around this thing you want to manifest, like the house, that you're like, well, if I get this, then if I get this, I have to then work harder to make the mortgage. If I get this, then I'm afraid, what if my husband loses his job? If I get this, then, excuse me, if I get this, then, right? Like if you don't look at those fears and limiting beliefs, if I get this, then my friends will think that I'm, with money, like I'm better than them. And then I won't have those friendships. I won't have those connections. I won't feel loved. What you will do is you will shut off the faucets to the manifesting, right? Right? Because it doesn't feel safe. And the subconscious, the prime directive of the subconscious is to keep you safe. So you will definitely block those things from showing up for you if those beliefs are in the way, okay? Not to scare you, just to acknowledge. Now, there's some things we can do with those beliefs, but I want to start out with that. So the first thing you're going to do is to write down on a piece of paper, just write down in the present tense, that which you desire to manifest. In the present tense, with the emotions you desire to feel. Like I know here I just made a list, right? But I knew the feeling, I knew what it would look like visualize it, and how do you feel when you're in it, right? Then you're going to let go of the outcome. You're just going to let go. You're going to let go of, well, when is it going to come? And is it here? And you're just going to let go of that, right? You're going to let go of the outcome. What you are going to do is you're going to take a look at the fears that are coming up. And when you see those fears, what I want you to envision is that we live in an existence where there are multiple timelines occurring simultaneously. Like right now, I am sitting here in this home in Southern California, and someone is in Alaska where they're probably knee deep, at least in snow. Someone else is in Africa in a small village living in a very different home. Someone else is living somewhere where they may not have potable water. We already live in very different timelines right here, right now on this planet. So now envision that there is timeline A where everything works out in your favor. It's just going to happen, just like the things that you wanted to manifest in the past that happened, that showed up for you, right? And now I want you to envision that there's timeline B or timeline C. On that timeline, there is what you don't want to happen, the fear, the thing that you're afraid of happening on that timeline, okay? Sometimes that timeline B, that information is kind of like niggling up or like kind of getting in the way of your timeline A. And if it's strong enough, it's going to block your timeline A, right? Because you're so afraid that you'll lose friendships, that you're just like, well, I'm not even going to go there. I'm too afraid. It's too scary. I'm not going to do that. The subconscious wants to keep you safe. Okay. So now you have some choices. One is to have the awareness of timeline, the fears coming up. And what I invite you to do with those is I invite you to notice where you feel them in your body. I invite you to kind of remove them from your body, let them sit outside in front of you like a ball of light. And then with an exhale, you can just exhale them out into the universe to then transmute into what would they rather be? Instead of being constricted in fear, what would they rather be? Send them off like butterflies. Send them off to be free. Send them off to do something fun. Go sing a song, or go try out for Broadway, or go read a book, or learn how to read tarot, or go have a coffee. Was to send them out to go do something fun. Be like, I'm good. You know, I believe that when I have this, what will be there for me is for my best and highest good, right? What will be there for me is for my best and highest good. And so we kind of release the fears around it. Anything is possible, right? We live in a world of pure possibility. And there's my husband, just kind of getting ready for the day, going back and forth, doing his thing. So we live in a world of pure possibility, right? And when we live in this world of pure possibility and anything is possible, we are aware. We always live in a world of pure possibility, always. So why hinge onto the fear? Why link onto the fear so strongly? In that world of pure possibility, what you desire is just as possible as anything else. And in fact, I want you to understand that you are the creator. And so as the creator, you create this into existence. Your job now is just to get on that wavelength. Picture yourself getting on that timeline, getting on that wavelength where that which you desire is already available for you. You are just coming into contact with it. And you are going to come into contact with it through what you're grateful for. You're going to come into contact with it through your openness to who is available to you, through synchronicities, through connections, through even through the support you receive through angel numbers. Some things are going to come to you. For instance, those who have worked with me one-on-one, who go through my whole method, they are able to manifest things that they want in like within like 2-3 sessions. Things are already happening, right? Like one of my clients, she was a little MIA. I was like, how's it going? She's like, oh my gosh, yeah, she got this opportunity to do a leadership retreat, which is literally her dream job. And she wrote me, she's like, I'm living my best life. And she was saying, I must feel like this all the time. She felt so in alignment. It's exactly what she wanted, because one, she got clear on what she really wanted, right? She got clear and aligned. She wrote down in the present tense, the desires that she had, right? As if they are happening in the present tense with the emotion words. Yeah. And then she got into that space of gratitude. Those are the three main ingredients. Those are the three main ingredients, I'd say. There's the three main ingredients, and then there's my 3C method, right? The first one we're talking about is clarity. We just went through that. The next one is clearing. We talked about that, clearing beliefs. I have something called a belief creator. I will drop that into the links below so you can do that. You can also clear beliefs through hypnosis. You can connect with me about doing a hypnosis package to clear your limiting beliefs. It's incredibly effective. Like, you can see all the testimonies. It's like, why suffer? Like, why stay in suffering mode when it gets to be so much easier? And then 3 is being in co-creation with the universe. That's your openness. It's like the excitement, like, who's going to come my way, or what opportunity is going to show up, or what can I say yes to? There are times, like, I've seen this call to me a couple times about leading retreats, like leading my own in-person retreats. I have had clients last year say it. I didn't lead one yet. And now I have a current client saying that she's willing to help me to find a location, to do some of the setup, like literally universe dropping it in my lap. The only thing preventing me from doing it is probably some of my own limiting beliefs. So my job is to look at those, see how is this in alignment for my business, for the highest good, and then to get into that space of it's already done, right? Just like picturing a kid learning to ride their bike, like if you're the parent, you believe in them. It's already done. You can see it. You can see them riding it. You trust it can happen. They may not have that belief yet. So you are holding the space with the belief for them until such time that they can believe it for themselves, believe it into being. All right, so I have, in a very brief time, shared in a nutshell the system that I have used to manifest things like this beautiful home. Very similar when I was, like before I even met my husband, had gotten into a place that was very out of alignment. I just had stopped believing that the things that I could have were really available for me. And so I got into a bad relationship, and I got into a location that was not for me. And I could have stayed there, right? But it was too incongruent. You're going to know when you're incongruent because it's going to keep you up at night. You're going to be crying. You're just not going to feel like, you're just not going to feel in alignment. Okay. So what I want to say about this is that, if that's the space that you're in, I just want you to come up with one thing that you are a commitment to. I am a commitment to. I am a commitment to. One big picture thing, loving myself, thriving, whatever it is. And then I want you to write that list, just like I've said a couple of times here, write that list out of what you really want. It's kind of like the conditions of satisfaction in your life, the conditions of satisfaction. What do I call in? What do I call into being? I think of all the things that I've created over the course of time. And in fact, I wrote in this other book, this is a manifesting book. I wrote this. I wrote some of my desires. I wrote some manifestations, and then I didn't even complete the book. I mean, you don't have to do it one way, but I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, check. There's that. There's a couple of things that I'm not quite there, but I'm getting close, So I'm like, okay, all right, let's get to work. Let me get on it again. Let me write it out for the coming year. And that's where I invite you into my manifesting mastery space. It's an 8-week big vision accelerator, manifesting mastery. Come meet with me in a beautiful small group, a cohort of amazing conscious human beings that are in that zone of thriving in their soul's expression and living their best life, whether it's in business or health or relationships or all three. We are going to go through together my exact method to help you manifest very quickly. We're going to do the clarity. We're going to do the clearing together through group hypnosis and accessing Akashic records. And we're going to do the co-creation with the universe. I'm super excited. I love that it's 8 weeks. It's 8 consecutive weeks back to back. There's a lot of bonus material in between, and a lot of beautiful things you're going to receive daily to help you be in that zone of belief and of manifesting. So I'd love to have you join us. I'd love for you to book a manifesting call with me if you would like to kind of better understand what's blocking you, and like that one tweak you can make to help you really manifest what you want in this coming year. And you might decide, like, you know what, I'm just ready. I'm going to sign up. I'm in. And you can hit that go button and you can sign up for Manifesting Mastery in the links below. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love to meet with you and to help you to co-create your beautiful desires in the coming year. Thanks for joining me.